have reached the final game of the week here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, the men's MAC Tournament Championship game between Akron and Miami of Ohio. Tyler Kavlich alongside Artie Abrego here for you. This one from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Artie, all week has been leading up to this moment. Akron against Miami of Ohio, a matchup that I think a lot of people saw as a very real possibility for the tournament championship game dating back to the start of conference play.
Oh, absolutely. These are the two top teams in the conference, the 1 seed in Akron, the 2 seed in Miami, Ohio. This sort of a powerhouse matchup that felt, destined to happen all season long between these two squads. It's obviously always tough to kind of predict what the championship game will be, but I think it was pretty much a lock here to get here in Cleveland.
It definitely was a matchup that seemed like it was destined to happen. It's been all chalk on both sides of the bracket, the men's and women's sides so far this tournament, as we saw Ball State get crowned as the women's champions earlier here today. And we'll see if Akron can continue that trend and make it an entire tournament where the top seeds win. Akron is seeking some history on their side for this one, Artie. This is an Akron team that is the reigning MAC tournament champions. They are seeking back-to-back tournament championships for the first time in their program history. Only 4 teams have repeated as conference tournament champions in the Mid-American Conference. That is Ball State in 1989-1990, Kent State in 2001-2002, and Buffalo did it twice in the 2010s. They did it in 2015-16 and 2018-19. And with a win here today, Akron would win their 2nd straight tournament championship, their 3rd in 4 years, and they would punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament in back-to-back seasons for the first time in program history.
Yeah, definitely a lot of history there, as you mentioned. Obviously, wanting to join, be the 5th team to have repeat champions in Ball State, Kent State, and Buffalo, who did it twice in the 2015, 2016, and then 2018-19. So, John Gross, he's been so successful in this tournament as a head coach. He's 12-4 as Akron's head coach in this tournament. Obviously, he is one of the far and away one of the best probably head coach in the Mid-American Conference. He is the coach of the year, the reigning coach of the year this year, of course, and he's looking for Akron's 3rd title in 4 years. So a lot of history, and this will be the Akron's first time facing someone in these championships in these 4 years, not named Kent State. In the previous 2 championship wins they had, they beat Kent State both times. So this is the first time they'll face somebody in a championship game in these past 4 years not named Kent State, and that'll be Miami, Ohio.
And you mentioned John Gross there. This is a big storyline coming into this game. John Gross, of course, the MAC Coach of the Year. That's not the storyline we're talking about. John Gross and Travis Steele, who leads the Miami Redhawks, they are half-brothers, Artie. They share the same mother. So this is a battle of the brothers here in the MAC Tournament Championship game.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not the thing on the forefront of their mind right now. Obviously, they're coaching their team. They're going through all the motions, wanting to make sure that they can knock it off, but at the same time, I'm sure there's a little bit of a thing in the back of their mind, Tyler, that really wants them to beat their brother in this championship game. I have a sister. I know you have a brother. There's nothing quite like a sibling rivalry, and it's on the national stage now, a chance to go to March, a chance to go to the Madness. And, there's no better way to upset your brother or your younger brother than by than coaching the team that beats their team.
Yeah, there really isn't anything like it. It's, to our knowledge, I'm not sure I've seen that there has been another brother-brother matchup in terms of head coaches in a championship game here in the MAC tournament.
I can't think of a single one either,
yeah,
if I'm being honest.
So we'll take a quick break for the national anthem here. When we get back, we'll go over the matchup history between these two teams and talk a little bit about both squads. Akron, Miami, Ohio facing off here in just a few minutes for the MAC Tournament Championship here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening on Falcon Radio.
Standing up for what's right, helping out when things go wrong, seeking the truth and speaking our minds, not just making records, but breaking them. Leading the way behind the camera, beyond the runway, and on the silver screen. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you could still have hepatitis C, a serious disease that's a leading cause of liver cancer. If you were born from 1945 to 65, you should get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments can cure this disease. Talk to your doctor about getting tested. A message from the CDC.
My name is Anthony Hernandez. I'm on the BG men's soccer team. My 4 dream opponents, I would say, is Messi. I've been watching him since I've grown up, and I've enjoyed watching him play. The other one would be Sergio Busquets. He makes the game very easy. And my third one, I would say De Bruyne. I love his passes. He makes it look so easy with the through balls. And my last one, I would probably say Mbappe. I mean, he's just so fast and not easy to catch.
About 7 minutes away here in Cleveland, Ohio, from the starting lineups being introduced for Akron and Miami of Ohio, the 1 and 2 seed, facing off here in the men's basketball MAC tournament championship game at Rocket Arena. Matchup between the top 2 teams in the Mid-American Conference all season long. Tyler Cavalitz alongside Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you for this one. National Anthem is over, so we will go over a little bit of this matchup history and then get into some of these teams. But this is a series that has been not really dominated by Akron overall. They lead 39-33, but they have dominated it as of late. They've won 10 out of the last 11 against Miami of Ohio. Akron has won 2 straight against Miami, and John Gross overall is 10-4 against the Red Hawks. Akron is 4-2 against Miami in the MAC tournament. And they defeated the Red Hawks in the quarterfinals of last year's MAC tournament, 75-63. So this is a series that Akron has had a firm control over. Miami is looking to turn the tables here today.
Honestly, I hear that record, 10-4. That's not the worst one I've ever heard in my life. Obviously, it's a 6-win differential, but you mentioned that the past 2 times they faced, unfortunately, Akron has come away with a win against Ball State twice this season, an 81-73 win, and then an 87-82 win this season. So, but it's not the worst I've ever heard of a record being in a series like this, especially recently. So there's no better time to turn around than now if you're Miami Ohio, who are coming off an extremely successful season where they averaged 81.1 points per game this season. During the regular season, they shot 48.5% from the field, 39.4% from 3. They have 16.4 assists per game during the regular season and 8.4 steals per game. So this is a team that's entirely different, that's improved in all areas since coming in as the 7th seed in last year's tournament. So they're looking to be more competitive than the team that knocked them out last year.
And something interesting is the last time we talked about that Akron's 4-2 against the Red Hawks in the MAC tournament. But these teams have faced each other in the tournament championship game before. That was back in 2007 when Miami of Ohio was the 4 seed, Akron was the 2 seed. The Red Hawks defeated the Zips 53-52, but it wasn't without controversy, Artie. The way this happened was Miami guard Doug Aparino, he banked in a 3-pointer with no time left on the clock, giving Miami an apparent 1-point victory. However, after a 10-minute delay reviewing the play, the officials put 0.6 seconds back on the clock because the game clock did not start properly when Miami rebounded and Akron missed a free throw. Because of the win in the conference tournament final, Miami was awarded the max automatic berth to the NCAA tournament, as it is with every conference tournament game, conference tournament championship game. Hopefully we don't have controversy at the end of this one like we did with that one. And I don't think Akron will have that in the back of their heads, as that was a while ago, back in 2007. But always cool to look back at the history, see if Miami can repeat it here today.
I mean, most of these players in this game, so that was 18 years ago now, Tyler, which is crazy to think about. 2007, 18 years ago. Most of these guys were probably 4 to 5 years old. Maybe a couple guys that were 6, and then a couple of freshman players who were probably 18, 19. So they were very young when this game happened. But I'm sure it's something especially Miami, Ohio, remembers very well that they've been coached up about because 2007 was the last time they won this tournament.
Yep.
So I'm sure that's been mentioned multiple times in this season, in this tournament. 18 years. And last time you beat them was Akron. I mean, not without controversy, but still, last time you beat them was Akron. I'm sure that's something they do remember very well. So is that necessarily the most important thing going into this matchup? No, not for Akron. But because they've had so much recent success. But for Miami, Ohio, it's a chance to get another MAC championship, a chance to bring some success back to your school after you were the 17th last year. You've been improving year to year, and now you have a chance to head to March.
The swords with the flamethrowers attached on the Humongotron here at Rocket Arena have lowered, which means we are just a few minutes away from the starting lineups being introduced. Of course, the flames shooting out of the big screen with those lineup introductions. Good time to look over these two teams, their strengths, their weaknesses. For Akron, it's pretty evident their strength is their offense. They were the best scoring offense in the Mid-American Conference this season, and they have averaged a whopping 98 points scored per game in this MAC tournament. They defeated Bowling Green 96-67 in the quarterfinal round before knocking off Toledo yesterday 190 in the semifinals.
I mean, just domination. That first game, it was just domination. 96 points in that one against BG. We were on the call for that one, Tyler. We saw just how outmatched Bowling Green was in every area. Akron shot 49.3% from the field, shot 41% from three. They began the game with 10 straight shots from the three-point line. In that one, Tavari Johnson scored 14 points, Isaiah Gray scored 11, and Seth Wilson scored 15. Bowen Hardman had 17 off the bench, and then Akron went out and did it again against Toledo. That one was a little more competitive. I will say for most of both halves, that game was extremely competitive between both teams, but Akron began to break away at the end. Toledo was kind of catching up to them constantly all game, but Akron never gave up the lead in that one. They had the lead the entire game, the entire 40 minutes. They shot 56.1% from the field, 55.6% from three, only had 6 turnovers, and had 28 rebounds, and Nate Johnson had a career-high 31 points in that one. The MAC Player of the Year, he shot 10 for 16 from the field.
Akron has not trailed in this MAC tournament. They have not been behind once. But Miami does not trail Akron's offense by much. And in fact, some could argue Miami has a superior offense. The argument could be made. Akron first in the MAC with 84.8 points scored per game. Miami second with 80.8. However, the Red Hawks have a better field goal percentage and three-point percentage. Both these teams ranking 1 and 2 in the MAC in both those categories. Miami shoots 48.1% from the field. Akron 47.3%. Miami 39.4% from beyond the arc. Akron 36.5% from deep. We have the starting lineups in for both these teams. We'll go over those real quick. For Akron, they will be going with the lineup that they've gone with for both MAC tournament games here this week. It'll be Isaiah Gray, senior guard, 6'3", 220 from Brooklyn, New York, an all-MAC honorable mention selection this season. He'll be joined by Seth Wilson, senior guard, 6'2", 220 from Lorain, Ohio. Alongside them, James Okonkwo, senior forward, 6'8", 240 from Maidenhead, England. Nate Johnson, the MAC Player of the Year and the MAC Defensive Player of the Year, redshirt junior guard, 6'3", 205 from Liberty Township, Ohio. And Tavari Johnson rounds out the starting five of the Zips, junior guard, 5'11", 160, LaGrange, Illinois, an all-MAC first-team selection this season. Hype video playing on the Humongotron as flames burst out of it here at Rocket Arena. Over on Miami's side, Travis Steele will also be going with a pretty familiar starting five. It'll be Ian Elmer, sophomore wing, 6'6", 205 from Cincinnati, Ohio. Makai Cooper, sophomore guard, 6'1", 165 from Bolingbrook, Illinois. Antoine Woolfolk, junior forward, 6'9", 235 from Cleveland, Ohio. Hometown kid getting the start for the Red Hawks. Alongside them will be Cam Kraft, redshirt sophomore guard, 6'6", 205 from your hometown, Artie, of Chicago, Illinois. All-MAC third-team selection this season. And then Peter Suter, the All-MAC first-team honoree this year, junior guard, 6'5", 215 from Carmel, Indiana, rounds out the starting five for the Red Hawks.
I'm sorry, if you're wondering why I laughed a little bit earlier, it's because I believe there are a ton of Akron fans here in this one, and I just heard an absolute raucous of boos just let out as Miami, Ohio was starting to begin their introductions here. So
Looking at the crowd, I'd have to say it's probably a good
it's a good split.
70, 30, 60, 40.
Probably
Akron,
about.
I would say.
I do see a lot of red towards the section where the
Yeah.
where the camera is pointing for the ESPN broadcast. So there's a lot of Miami, Ohio fans in that direction. Well, regarding the lineups, these are the lineups we've seen all season for these teams. Not really a lot of surprises. These are the starters that have started every game in the MAC tournament for this one. So I'm interested to see the matchups between these two teams.
Both teams have a significant player coming off the bench. For Miami and Travis Steele, it's Brant Byers, the MAC freshman of the year, averaging 8.5 points per game, shooting 41% from deep this season. And for Akron, they have the MAC sixth man of the year in Shema Scott, senior guard, also hometown kid from Cleveland, Ohio, 9.4 points per game, 37% shooting from beyond the arc this year for Shema Scott.
Shema Scott, he's really impressed me in this tournament by a whole heck of a lot. He has been super consistent in this one. Against Bowling Green, he had about 14 points, shot 5 for 10 from the field, but he also had 16 rebounds. So he had a way consistent game against Bowling Green. Obviously, he wasn't really the driving force behind the win, but he did have really consistent numbers off the bench. He also scored 14 against the Rockets, and he shot 7 for 8 from the free throw line. He's been amazing off the bench all season long, and he's been the MAC sixth man of the year.
This is by far the rowdiest crowd already that
sure.
we have had for this tournament. And, you know, last year we had a tremendous crowd for the Akron-Kent State game. I honestly think this crowd might rival it. It is a really good turnout here tonight at Rocket Arena.
I mean, we mentioned earlier the 2007 championship ending in a bit of controversy. Last year's one ended in a little bit of a weird way as well. Kent State had the lead heading into the final seconds of the game after 2 clutch free throws at the line, and then Julius Rollins, a former Kent State player, didn't know the score of the game, and he intentionally fouled an Akron player, which sent Akron to the line, and Akron hit both free throws to win the championship and head to March.
For Akron, they will be going with their white jerseys, some gold trim down the sides, zips in blue across the chest with blue numbering and lettering on the back. Miami going with their all reds. Miami across the chest in white lettering and numbering on the backs. It'll be Woolfolk and Okonkwo at the center to tip it off. Miami going left to right across your radio dial. Akron right to left. And we are underway for the MAC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship game here between Akron and Miami of Ohio at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Akron wins the tip. They start with the ball. Okonkwo, top of the key, gives it to Nate Johnson, the reigning MAC Player of the Year. Let's go Zips. Chance raining down for the crowd. Inside to Okonkwo. And he slams it home to begin this one. Akron up 2-0.
I think that's a perfect way to get it started for Akron. A big-time slam. You get the crowd into it right away, and you get a 2-0 lead to start this one off.
Driving inside with it's Makai Cooper, and that's rejected by James Okonkwo. Down low, Okonkwo. 2 big plays early on for Akron.
Just everywhere already on the inside. He had the dunk underneath the rim, and now he's got a big-time block.
32nd block of the season for James Okonkwo. Makai Cooper inbounds. Gives it to Woolfolk. Woolfolk driving past Nate Johnson baseline. Kicks it outside. It finds Makai Cooper wide open in the far side corner. And Makai Cooper drains it. Can't leave him alone. 37.6% from deep this season.
I mean, I've seen some beautiful ball movement by the Red Hawks this season, and that was no exception. 3 straight passes to find a wide open Makai Cooper in the right corner.
Tavari Johnson with the ball. He's been incredible so far this tournament. Gives it off to Nate Johnson near side wing. Johnson working on Studer, trying to drive inside. Little fadeaway to his right. Beautiful shot by Nate Johnson. These teams on their P's and Q's to begin this one. Akron up 4-3.
Back-to-back early, and Nate Johnson, he's such a smooth player. He hits all the moves in transition. He looks so consistent, so fast doing it.
We talked about how quick, off the air, we talked about how quick Akron has been starting these games. Miami really needs to slow down this Akron offense to stay in it, as on the other side, there's a nice mid-range jumper nailed by Cam Kraft. second leading scorer, I should say, for this Miami team this season, 13.2 points per game.
In my opinion, one of the most underrated players on this Miami, Ohio team.
Driving inside, and Nate Johnson. The shifty Johnson gets inside. Finger roll layup goes. 6-5 Akron. 2 minutes down in the first half. Here's a three-pointer launched on the other side by Cam Kraft. That will not go. It's out of bounds off Woolfolk, and it'll be Akron ball.
And that was a good look from Cam Kraft. We know he can hit it from that deep range. We've seen it all tournament. He's coming out of a game where he hit a couple of big-time threes. He had 17 against Kent. It was really one of the reasons they picked up that win. And he just hitting all the right threes at the right time in that one.
5 for 9 from deep against Kent State for Cam Kraft. Tavari Johnson with the ball, pulls up for a triple near side wing. Does not go. Too strong off back iron. Offensive rebound by James Okonkwo. And he goes to the ground. Tied up with Peter Suter. And Suter's going to pick up his first foul of the game.
Miami, Ohio fans not happy about that one. Bit of booing already, but Suter, one of the best players in this tournament, one of the best players in the MAC. He's had 2 straight double-doubles. He had 10 assists, 10 rebounds in the first round of the tournament against Eastern Michigan. And then he had 23 points against Kent and 11 rebounds. So 2 straight double-doubles for Suter.
Okonkwo gives it off to Isaiah Gray. Gray trying to pass it back into Okonkwo. Going to be another foul on Miami.
I believe they're going to get... It will be Makai Cooper.
Yeah,
That's what I
Cooper
figured.
Picks up his first personal. This Akron team got in a little foul trouble last game, but they were able to escape it with their depth. They're 10 deep. You probably will see 10, 11 guys into the game here today for Akron. Three-pointer launched by Seth Wilson. Does not go. It's rebounded offensively, though, by James Okonkwo. His putback too strong. Wild miss by Okonkwo, and it's going to stay Akron possession. The Zips will get a fourth shot at this possession.
And Okonkwo, I think he's really been the MVP so far in these early minutes. He's got 2 points, 2 rebounds, one of them offensive rebound just now, and a block. So watch for him to be a force in this one on the boards.
He's been all over the place. They inbound it to him. He's a good passing big. Drops it off here to Nate Johnson. Johnson double-teamed. Goes top of the key. Tries to pass it. Picked off. Picked off by
Ian Elmer, the 6'6" wing player. I mean, you can't really get a pass over a guy that's 6'6".
Elmer just stepped into the passing lane, picked it off for the Redhawks. Cam Kraft with the ball. Working around to Reese Potter, screen down low. And he steps out of bounds. It's going to be Akron ball. Another first turnover of the game, I should say, for Miami. They do have 2 personal fouls already.
Yeah, I mean, that was just Cam Kraft going up the baseline, trying to get a pass to the corner. Wasn't paying attention to where his feet were. Takes a step out of bounds, and that's the turnover for Miami.
Tavari Johnson brings the ball up the court for Akron. Johnson gives it to Amani Lyles, top of the key. He drops it off to Shema Scott. He passes inside to Amani Lyles. He can't finish the layup, but an offensive rebound by Isaiah Gray. Driving inside is Tavari Johnson. Spin move. He has it pickpocketed, loses it. Bringing up the court is Ian Elmer. He'll give it to Cam Kraft. He'll kick it outside here. Peter Suter from the far side wing drains the triple, moving to his left.
I mean, Todd, you said earlier that the key to this game for Akron would be, for Miami Ohio, would be slowing down Akron's offense. But what about Akron? They need to do something to slow down Miami Ohio's offense right now.
Akron shooting just 3 for 7 early on, make it 3 for 8. Isaiah Gray misses the layup down low. Almost picks it off from behind of Elmer, but can't do it. This one's picked off by Shema Scott down low for Akron. Scott running, goes up for a layup.
Whoa.
Heavy contact. He's going for a foul. There will be no foul. He loses it. Miami takes it the other way. Back to Peter Suter. Another triple. Airballs this one over the rim, but Reese Potter is there to collect it. He drives inside. Rejected by Amani Lyles, but there is going to be a foul on Akron.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact on that block from Amani Lyles. I believe he's going to hit the wrist of Reese Potter there. Actually, it's going to be Shema Scott.
They're going to give it to Shema Scott on the way that on Reese Potter's way to the rim. Shema Scott making that contact. So that'll bring us to our first media timeout of this championship game. Akron trailing early against Miami of Ohio. Redhawks up 8-6. 15:38 to play in the first half. You are listening to the Men's Basketball MAC Tournament Championship game here from Rocket Arena in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, right here on Falcon Radio.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did, and just maybe someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Hi, I'm Arielle Winter. If you're anything like me, your pets are not only your best friends, they're part of your family. American Humane, which has been rescuing animals like Cleo here for more than 100 years, has life-saving tips that can make a big difference in a disaster. When disaster strikes, you want to protect your whole family, including your pets. To help keep your family safe and help our best friends in their worst times, find tips at AmericanHumane.org.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com. 15:38 to play in the first half. Akron's been the team that's gotten out to hot starts this MAC tournament. Not off the hottest one here so far. 3 for 9 from the field. Miami's 3 for 6 with 2 triples drained. They're up 8-6 over the Zips early. And Reese Potter's going to the line for some free throws.
Yeah, Akron is just not really as consistent as we've seen them in recent weeks and in this tournament. They're shooting 3 for 9 early, 0 for 2 from 3, 2 turnovers early. Not really the start I expected them to have.
As Potter, the 7'1", 215 sophomore center from Lexington, Kentucky, misses the first at the line. He goes 0 for 2, but Miami secures the offensive rebound. Kicked out here, Cam Kraft. His triple bounces in, and Miami's up 11-6 early.
Cam Kraft, he just has that unlimited range to his game. We've seen him hit shots like that all tournament, like you mentioned, 5 for 7 from deep against Kent State.
Nate Johnson driving inside, heavy contact, puts up the layup, wild miss. Rebounded by the 7-footer, Reese Potter down low.
Ackerman scores for the past 3 minutes now.
Potter with it for the Redhawks. Gives it off here. Driving inside with it and back out is Evan Ipsaro. Didn't look like he knew exactly what he wanted to do. It's knocked out of bounds by Nate Johnson. Peter Suter trying to get around him. Nate Johnson, a tremendous defender. Johnson coming into the game with 60 steals. Tied for second in the MAC.
Was named the MAC Defensive Player of the Year as well.
Driving inside, Evan Ipsaro puts up the left-handed layup, and that goes. Tremendous shot by Evan Ipsaro, and Reese Potter almost stole away off the inbound, but Akron retains it. 13-6, Miami leads, 14.5 to play in the first half.
Redhawks on an 8-0 run this past 3 minutes and 24 seconds.
Shamas Scott with the ball, trying to pass it inside, bounce pass to Amani Lyles. It's going to be a kicked ball by Miami. Went off the foot of Ian Elmer. And Akron will inbound it with 20 on the shot clock, 14:30 on the game clock in the first half. 25th season in a row, the MAC tournament has been hosted here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio at Rocket Arena. Amani Lyles inside, gets the layup to go. And they're going to call a foul. He'll get a chance for the and one at the charity stripe. Ian Elmer picks up his first personal foul of the game as Lyles gets his first points of the contest. Shamas Scott on the assist for the Zips.
Monty Lyles had a very effective player for the Zips against Kent State. He had 12 points. He had 9 rebounds as well.
Finishes off the three-point play, 13-9 Miami over Akron. Reese Potter bringing it up the court for the Red Hawks. Gives it to Ipsaro. He kicks it out here to Peter Suter. Nice move to get around Shamaska baseline. Peter Suter creating the space for himself. Finishes off the layup 15-9 Miami.
Suter, he's just so fast, so quick, so consistent with his game. Switches up mid-air for that layup, and we've seen him make plays like that all tournament long.
23 points, 11 rebounds last time out for Peter Suter. Here's a three-pointer launched on the other end by Bowen Hardman for Akron. Does not go. Offensive rebound by Amani Lyles. He gives it to Shema Scott. Scott moving to his left, trying to drive inside. Kicks it outside to Seth Wilson. Wilson gives it to Lyles. Back to Wilson. He drives baseline. That's going to be an offensive foul on Amani Lyles. He just shoved. I believe that was Peter Suter to the ground in front of the Miami bench, and didn't like that call, but that's a pretty obvious one for the officials.
Yeah, Amani Lyles tried to argue it right away. And I think John Gross is trying to plead his player's case a little bit, but that seemed as obvious as it comes. That was just a straight shove, and right in front of an official as well, and they're going to call that every time.
John Gross wearing that vest as always. He will be animated on the sidelines for Akron. Travis Steele, also a pretty animated coach for Miami, almost like they might be related.
Yeah, you know, they might be half brothers or something. I don't know, Tyler.
Runs in the family. Bringing the ball up the court is Ipsaro. Gives it to Woolfolk for Miami. Woolfolk drops it off to Cam Kraft. Jumper at the free throw line does not go. Isaiah Gray gets the rebound as James Okonkwo hits the deck for the Zips. Gray gives it Nate Johnson up top. Johnson back to Gray, far side wing. Gray trying to make a move inside. Back out to Johnson, near side wing.
They got to get something going now, Tyler. Get some more momentum back.
Johnson gives it off to Tavari Johnson. He kicks it over to Nate Johnson. Nice fake three. Pass inside to James Okonkwo. And he finishes off with two hands for the second time today. Emphatic slam for James Okonkwo.
It's almost like Okonkwo on that dunk was trying to tear the rim down with him. So much force on that dunk.
Cam Kraft almost nailed the triple on the other end. Looked like it went in from our angle. Did not. Offensive rebound by the Red Hawks. Keeps the possession alive. Antoine Woolfolk doing his job down low. It gets set into Woolfolk again, and he goes right over the top of Okonkwo for 2 points. 17-11. The Red Hawks with a 6-point advantage, approaching 12 minutes to play in the first half.
Miami's just going right at the Zips right away. No slowing down. Trying to build momentum early here.
Tavari Johnson inside. Gives it to Isaiah Gray. Gray, step back fadeaway jumper. Just inside the free throw line goes. Isaiah Gray pulls Akron back within 4, 17-13. Next stoppage will bring us to a media timeout. And we'll get it right there. There's going to be a foul, as driving aside was Evan Ipsaro. We'll see who they assign the foul to for Akron when we come back. Miami up over the Zip 17-13, 11:52 to play in the first half. You're listening to Men's Basketball MAC Tournament Championship here on Falcon Radio.
Remember the 60s? That's when the U.S. Surgeon General warned us that cigarette smoking causes lung cancer. Well, music's changed, and now there's another warning from the U.S. Surgeon General. Radon causes lung cancer. Radon is an invisible gas that seeps into your home, and it can cause lung cancer whether you smoke or not. The only way to know if radon is in your home is to have it tested. Call 1-800-SOS-RADON. That's 1-800-SOS-RADON. Because radon problems can be fixed. Brought to you by this station and the U.S. EPA.
Follow and engage with BG Falcon Media on social media. Find the handle @BG Falcon Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all sorts of content, including news information, BGSU athletics coverage, and feature stories from across campus. Enjoy specialty content such as full episodes of the local music showcase, Live and Loud. The coverage continues with BG Falcon Media on all major social platforms.
Hey there, BGS MTSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Miami of Ohio still up early over Akron here in the men's basketball MAC tournament championship game. They have a 4-point advantage over the Zips, 17-13. Still a lot of time left to play in this first half. We're not even halfway through it. 11:52 remaining. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Artie, what have been your takeaways so far from this one?
Oh, for Miami of Ohio, they're just going right at the Akron Zips. No fear in their eyes. They're trying to get it going early. They're trying to build momentum early. They're operating super quick on offense. They're going with the fast passes, the fast looks, trying to get quick shots off against this Akron defense because they know how consistent, how the Zips can trap you.
Both teams with 7 rebounds here so far. Akron actually has more offensive rebounds, 5-4, but it's Miami leading in second chance points, 8-0 over the Zips. Woolfolk has it, gives it outside here. It's kicked out to Evan Ipsaro. He drains the triple from the near side wing in front of the Akron bench.
See, that was exactly what I was talking about. They're always going for the quick looks, trying to find those quick threes, those quick twos. They're not really concerned so much about waiting out the shot clock as much as they are scoring as much as they can in this one.
Sorrow hits the deck for Miami as it's passed out to Bowen Hardman, far side corner. He is fouled on the three-point attempt. We'll see. I believe they are going to say his foot was behind the line. They may look at that.
It's going to be on Ian Elmer, so that'll be his second person to foul in this one early on.
You are correct there. Ian Elmer picking up the foul.
You can just tell based off his reaction.
Official went over to look where his foot was. They are going to say it was a three-point attempt. So Bowen Hardman will take 3 shots from the charity stripe.
Bowen Hardman, no stranger to getting fouled at the three-point line. He had a big 4-point play against Bowling Green. Got knocked to the ground. He got all the Zips fans up in his area, but he's going to miss the first one.
Hardman's an interesting case. He shoots 39.9% from deep, just 61.5% from the free throw line. Usually those numbers are pretty in sync. Not for Bowen Hardman, though. He's a rare case of that example.
Well, I mean, sometimes with players, it's just the stress and anxiety of being at the free throw line. Everyone's staring at you. You have to stand still. You can't jump.
Some players like the contact in the face. J.R. Smith was a guy who said he liked contested three-pointers more than wide-open three-pointers because he was in rhythm and wasn't wide open having to overthink things. Hardman goes 2 for 3 from the line, 20-15 the score, Miami leading. Ian Elmer checks out for Miami. Peter Suter back in. Bowen Hardman checks out after the 3 free throw attempts. Shamas Scott, the MAC six-man of the year, checks in for the Zips. Pass down low to Ipsaro, kicked outside here. 3-point attempt drained in front of the Akron bench by Brant Byers, the MAC freshman of the year. He shoots 41.1% from beyond the arc.
I don't think we're going to be able to stop talking about how good the Red Hawks ball movement is. It's just a work of art. Every single pass is so good, and they were shooting 5 from 8 from 3 early on in this one.
Akron 0 for 3 from deep, 0 for 4 now. 3-pointer missed by Shamas Scott, far side wing. First time Akron's gone cold from deep this entire tournament. They are trailing for the first time in this tournament here today, 23-15 currently.
Right.
Miami has a chance to really extend this here.
I mean, they just seem to have their foot on the gas right now. No breaks at all for the Red Hawks.
Evan Ipsaro swings it over. Deep 3-point attempt here. Drained by Peter Suter. Suter on fire for Miami. 3 3-pointers already. He's up to 8 points.
There's actually a second 3-pointer, but 8 points so far early in this one. And they have an 11-point lead early on, a double-digit lead against the reigning Zips.
3 field goals made, I should say. You are correct with the 2 3-pointers. As on the other end, Tavari Johnson misses the jumper, and it's rebounded by Brant Byers. Step back here by Peter Suter, and there's his third triple. Peter Suter is feeling it in Cleveland, and Miami's up over Akron, 29-15. Suter has 11 points early on. Wow. What a start by the Miami Redhawks.
That's just domination. Peter Suter, 2 back-to-back threes, puts the Redhawks up by 14, heading into the media timeout. Oh my goodness, that was an insane shot. A step-back 3. He gets some love from his teammates as well.
For the first time here in this tournament, John Gross's Akron Zips are facing some real adversity as Gross is forced to use a 30-second timeout. 29-15. Miami of Ohio, a 14-point lead over Akron. My, oh my.
I mean, you said it. I can't believe it. I can't believe this is how this one started. The Zips just look just thrown off their game. They have not been down yet in this tournament. Like you mentioned, this is their first real thing of adversity. They haven't scored for the past minute 37. They're on a Miami Ohio's on a 9-0 run. Sorry, I could not speak for a minute. That's how shocked I am right now, Tyler. It's a 12-2 run. It's 2 minutes and 16 minutes for Miami of Ohio.
29-15. Akron with the ball here, down by 14. Tavari Johnson with it. Nice moves to try to get inside. He'll kick it out. Shama Scott, triple. Cannot get it to go. Akron early on, 0 for 5 from deep. Offensive rebound, though, by Nate Johnson. He puts a little jumper fading away inside the painted area. Does not go off front iron, but he is fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Reese Potter picking up his first personal foul of the game. Peter Suter, 11 points, 4 for 5 from the field, 3 for 4 from deep. He's added 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Off to an incredible start.
Absolutely. I mean, I think he's been far and away one of the best players in this tournament. He had 23 versus Kent and 11 rebounds. We mentioned that earlier. It was his second double-double of the tournament.
7 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists in the first game of the tournament for Miami of Ohio against Eastern Michigan. Just 3 points away from the second triple-double in program history.
Which is insane to think about in that one because he struggled with shooting a lot in that one, but he still found a way to make it matter for his team to help them win.
Nate Johnson goes 1 for 2 at the line before Peter Suter drains another triple. His 4th three-pointer of the game. Peter Suter, 14 points. He cannot miss in Rocket Arena in Miami of Ohio, doubling Akron's point total so far. 32-16.
I mean, if he's already got 14 this early, I can't even begin to imagine how high that number is going to be when this one's over.
3-pointer here by Seth Wilson. Akron 0 for 6 from deep. They are ice cold, and this one is turning into a rout early by the Redhawks. Akron desperately needs to stop the bleeding.
What confuses me about Akron is they keep going back to that three-point shot. Yes, they're in a hole, but they've scored 10 points in the paint early in this one. There are other ways to attack this Miami of Ohio defense that they're just not looking for right now.
Makai Cooper misses the triple for Miami, goes out of bounds off the Redhawks. Well, this John Gross team has been lights out from deep nearly this entire season. They take a lot of three-pointers. They usually hit them, and it works out well. This is the negative side of it, though, when you go ice cold and you rely on them too heavily as Peter Suter steals it away. Who else but Peter Suter? And Suter finishes it off with a transition layup on the other end. 16 points for number 5 for Miami.
So Peter Suter, he's got 16 points. Akron only has 16 points, and the Miami of Ohio is now up by 18 points.
Peter Suter even with the Zips. He's taking them all on at once. Driving inside is Shama Scott. He'll take contact and miss a wild layup attempt. And Peter Suter, though, will pick up his second personal, so he'll have to watch and be careful and stay out of foul trouble. But my, oh my, an 18-point advantage for Miami over Akron, 34-16. 7:48 to play in the first half. You're listening to the MAC Tournament Men's Basketball Championship game here from Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio on Falcon Radio. On January 31st, 2025, BGSU senior forward Jackson Niedermeyer scored a game-winning goal in overtime on the road against Northern Michigan, notching BG 2 points and securing Niedermeyer's first multi-point game as a Falcon. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak had the call on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Larson with the shot taken away by Bowling Green. This is Jackson Niedermeyer, takes it up the right wing, looking for a pass, now looking for a shot, he scores! Jackson Niedermeyer, the overtime winner with a buck left in overtime. And Bowling Green takes the much-needed extra point. What a wrist shot.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com. 34-16, Miami over Akron. 7:48 to play in the first half. What a start by the Red Hawks. About as perfect as you could have it. 68.4% from the field, 13 for 19, 66.7% from deep, 8 for 12. Akron, on the other hand, just 6 for 18 from the field and 0 for 6 from deep. The one good thing you could be thinking for Akron is that it'll be nearly impossible for the Red Hawks to continue shooting at this clip. They will have to come down at some point, logic would say. But Akron's in a major hole, down 18 points. They need to stop the bleeding and get back into it fast, as it'll start at the free throw line here by Shema Scott. He hits the first of 2 attempts, was fouled by Peter Suter before we went to break. Suter picking up his second personal foul, but he's been brilliant offensively as Shema Scott hits both from the line. 16 points, 6 for 7 from the field, 4 for 5 from deep for Suter here today.
I mean, if you're head coach John Gross and you go to that timeout and you look at the stat sheet and you realize that one player almost had as many points as had tied the amount of points you had heading into that timeout, that's always a bit of a cause for concern if you're the Zips.
Down low miss by Makai Cooper, and there's another miss, a 7th straight 3-point miss by the Akron Zips. Seth Wilson coming up way short, almost pinning it between the rim and the backboard from the near side wing.
And that's the thing about some of these Zips threes. Like you mentioned, they're not even coming anywhere close to the rim. They're always bouncing off the front, not even hitting anywhere near the net.
Kai Cooper, apologies to Ian Elmer with the ball, gives it to Reese Potter. Potter to the shot clock. Little fadeaway jumper with one knee up in the air, and the 7-footer hits it.
I mean, Tyler, you said that it would be impossible for the Red Hawks to continue at this pace, but they're making a case for it. I don't know at this point in the game if they can stop right now.
Ball gets out here to Sharon Young. Passed around. 3-pointer attempted, wide open by Amani Lyles, and he cans it for Akron. Their first make on their 8th attempt from deep. And Akron now within 15, 36-25. Miami leads. Approaching 6 minutes to play in the first half. We have a foul called off the ball.
I think that might be on Isaiah Gray.
It'll be on Isaiah Gray. Miami, what a start for the Red Hawks. I don't think they could have imagined a better one.
Definitely not. I mean, your top player, he's got 16 already, 4 from 5 from 3. You're beating the top team in the conference who's never trailed at any point in this tournament by 15 points.
They are playing without Peter right now. Peter Suter on the bench with 2 personal fouls. But it's knocked out of bounds. They poked it away from Cam Kraft. And John Gross, a huge fist bump on the bench. He's trying to inject the energy into this Akron team, trying to get them going, trying to will their offense back to the level that it has been so far this tournament, where they've averaged 98 points per game. Isaiah Gray with the ball for the Zips. Gives it to Shema Scott. Back to Gray. Gray driving inside. His layup goes. Akron starting to heat up just a little bit. 36-23 Miami.
They've cut the lead to 13 now. Yeah, they're starting to cook up something a little bit.
5 points chopped off the deficit for Akron just like that. And add on 2 more to it as Evan Ipsaro drives inside and gets the layup to go. Akron's offense starting to get a little faster paced here. Tavari Johnson with the ball. A sense of urgency for them. Driving inside. Jumper, the low block goes. Akron heating up on the offensive side. 38-25. Miami's lead down to 13.
We're starting to get back to that point where it was early in the first half where both teams were trading shots. I think we're starting to get back to that point now, Tyler.
Reese Potter driving inside. Turnaround jumper by Potter does not go. Akron with the momentum right now. Rebounded by Nate Johnson. The MAC Player of the Year. Going to be a foul down low by James Okonkwo. Okonkwo sending Reese Potter to the ground at the same time that Nate Johnson was sending Evan Ipsaro to the ground up top. And Okonkwo is going to pick up his first personal. He doesn't see it. He wants a review.
Akron fans, I think they want a review too.
They will not review it. It'll be Miami ball. Amani Lyles going to check into the game for Okonkwo. Miami a chance here to end the momentum that Akron has gained, making 3 of their last 4 shots from the field. Antoine Woolfolk with it. Woolfolk looking to pass it, gives it off to Evan Ipsaro at the MAC logo midcourt. Ipsaro kicks it to the corner. 3-pointer launched and hit by Brant Byers. The MAC freshman of the year cans it. 41-25 Miami over Akron.
Brant Byers has shot twice this game. Both of them are threes, and both of them are perfect from beyond the arc.
Nate Johnson gives it to Tavari Johnson. Johnson to Sharon Young. Deep 3-pointer by Young. No good off front iron. Rebounded by Makai Cooper and the Red Hawks.
So the Zips are shooting 9 from 23 total from the field. 1 and 9 now from 3.
Evan Ipsaro with the ball. Out to the far side wing. Ipsaro up top. It's Luke Skaljak with it. Gives it here to Cam Kraft. He's rejected. Akron going to take it the other way. Isaiah Gray working inside. Kicks it out to Nate Johnson. He'll drive inside. Behind the back dribble. Trying to get inside. Kicks it out. 3-pointer launched and rattled in by Sharon Young. 41-28 Miami over Akron.
That cuts the lead to 13 again.
That's the closest Akron's gotten since Miami built this huge advantage. Evan Ipsaro not able to finish the reverse layup. Isaiah Gray with the rebound for the Zips. Gray kicks it out. Young launches again. Sharon Young misses off front iron. Got the Akron fans momentarily on their feet.
I mean, the Zips, crowd control is a big part of this, honestly. If the Zips can get the crowd back into this one, get some runs going, they can take over this game, but they just can't get these shots to keep falling for them consistently.
Ipsaro with it. He's been the main ball handler with Peter Sutter out. Kicks it over to Luke Skaljak. His 3-pointer just rolls out. Rebounded by Amani Lyles down low. He gives it to Isaiah Gray. Gray back to Lyles, far side corner. Lyles backing down, double teamed. Gives it to Sharon Young in the paint. He kicks it out to Nate Johnson in the near side corner. Now to the far side corner. Isaiah Gray makes his move inside. Shifty Isaiah Gray gets to the rim, finishes off the layup. Down to an 11-point advantage for Miami, 41-30. And the Zips fans get on their feet here in Cleveland. 3-pointer launched. Does not go. Brant Byers missing his first attempt from deep. He hit 2 previously.
Crowd back into this one. The Zips are gaining momentum.
Nate Johnson drives inside, does not make the layup, but takes the contact. And Akron taking over the momentum. They're down by just 11 and will have a chance to cut it down to single digits when we come back. Akron's not out of it yet. Down 41-30 against Miami. 2:01 to go in the first half. You're listening to the MAC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship game right here on Falcon Radio.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future in a world that's changing fast. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do it all with confidence, kindness, and strength. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing. Inspire kids to do at 4h.org.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
41-30, Miami over Akron. 2:01 to play in the first half. Miami got out to an 18-point advantage at one point, but the Zips have gone on a 5-0 run over the past 2.5+ minutes, cutting Miami's advantage down to just 11. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you for this one. We have broadcasted all 14 games of this Mid-American Conference tournament. We have some more coverage on our Twitter X account, BG_FMSN, along with additional content on BGFalconMedia.com and the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. Go check that out. Our full coverage of this MAC tournament, men's and women's side, here this week in Cleveland, Ohio. At the line for 2 free throws is Akron's Nate Johnson, the reigning MAC Player of the Year. He hits both at the line, and what was once an 18-point deficit has been cut in half to just 9 with under 2 minutes to go in the first half here at Rocket Arena. 41-32, Miami leading over Akron here in the MAC Tournament Championship game.
Building their way back up as the Zips. Miami's been scoreless for the past almost 3 minutes now.
Antoine Woolfolk backing down against James Okonkwo. Down low. Rattles it home on the hook shot floater.
That gets
and
it
back up to an 11-point lead, 43-32.
Oh, no.
Nate Johnson loses the ball there, goes to the ground. Three-pointer launched in transition. Does not go by Cam Kraft. He gets his own rebound as it's knocked back out to him. Evan Pissarro drives inside, kicks it out. Cam Kraft left wide open. Cam Kraft makes the Akron Zips pay. Kraft up to 8 points here today. And Miami's lead back out to 14, 46-32. They steal it away, knocked away by Brant Byers. The MAC Freshman of the Year, Evan Pissarro, brings it up the court for the Redhawks. He'll slow things down, chew time off this clock. We're down to 45 seconds and counting to play in the first half.
That was complete defensive miscommunication on that Campcraft 3 from the Zips.
Down low, Antoine Woolfolk trying to bully Okonkwo, can't do it. Misses the shot. Okonkwo gets the rebound. Shama Scott with the ball for Akron. About a 4-second differential between game clock, shot clock. Doesn't matter. Down low. Tavari Johnson works inside, gets the layup to go. 46-34 Miami. And the Redhawks can hold it for the final shot as we are 10 seconds left in the first half. Crowd gets on their feet. Evan Pissarro trying to make his move inside, almost knocked away. He'll pass it out here to Cam Kraft. Back to Pissarro, near side corner. His three-pointer at the buzzer, no good. And we will head to halftime. Miami with a 12-point advantage over Akron after the first 20 minutes of action. 46 34. We'll take a quick break. Come back with you to recap this first half. You're listening to the Men's Basketball MAC Tournament Championship game from Rocket Arena in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, right here on Falcon Radio.
I'm BG News reporter Ava Thoman, and here's a look at this week's edition of the BG News. Honoring Women's History Month and celebrating all women who've made an impact. See who is being celebrated and how you can join in on the celebration. Since its 1965 opening, Stella Field has not seen a big renovation. Read about the fundraising campaign and what renovations are being brought to the baseball diamond. A tree honoring a lay professor will be planted on campus. Find out more about how some students raised all the funds in just 6 hours. And on March 12th, the Bowling Green Falcon Marching Band took flight to Ireland. Read about what they plan on doing for St. Patrick's Day. Check out these stories and more in this week's edition of the BG News, now available on newsstands around the BGSU campus and the Bowling Green community.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our two stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on BGFalconMedia.com.
Titans go! When the Teen Titans go to the movies, they know the best way to travel is safely.
Hollywood, here we come! Roger! And you know it's super.
To keep your child safe, be sure to use the right car seat for their age and size.
Exactly. I know you feel it. We're finally on the big screen.
Have a seat, my dude. For more information on finding the right seat, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Gotcha. That's a wise move. It's an
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys! I love this song!
I love these nachos.
I love our kickball league! Oh! I love this guy!
What's your name?
You know what I love?
A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you could still have hepatitis C, a serious disease that's a leading cause of liver cancer. If you were born from 1945 to 65, you should get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments can cure this disease. Talk to your doctor about getting tested. A message from the CDC.
My name is Kyle Blassingame from BGSU Men's Soccer, and my Falcon 4 favorite hobbies are Kirby, which is a game created by BG Men's Soccer. My second favorite hobby would be Solid.io. I recently bought a PC and I've been gaming it. My third favorite hobby is playing golf with Kyle Cusimano. And my fourth favorite hobby is watching Game of Thrones with Brendan Graves.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM. Back here at halftime at Rocket Arena in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. 25th year in a row they have hosted the Mid-American Conference Tournament. We have the final game of the week, the men's tournament championship game between Akron and Miami of Ohio. Red Hawks up over the Zips, 46-34 at halftime. Akron is seeking their second straight tournament championship in their third and 4 years. Meanwhile, Miami is looking for their first tournament championship since 2007. Tyler Kavlich along with Artie Abrega from the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you for this one. First half was just complete domination by Miami, Artie.
Absolutely. 46 points in that first half. They shot 54.5% from the field, 55.6% from three. They held the Zips to shooting 44% from the field and 18.2% from three. So the Zips only made 2 out of 11 of their three-point shots. Right now, Miami is just full steam ahead. They've scored 11 points off turnovers, 12 points in the paint, and it's just been domination so far for Miami, Ohio. There have been some runs from the Zips so far where they've come close to sort of building momentum. They got it within a single-digit lead just a couple of times. But just again, all the right times, the Red Hawks are just hitting the right shots, keeping things between an arm's length between them and the Zips. And the Zips, they just have no answers right now, even though they're winning things like the rebounding battle, 16-14. They've got 10 defensive rebounds. They have 6 offensive rebounds. They're just not keeping up against the Red Hawks, and part of that is due to because of their poor shooting, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, it's complete domination by Miami. I think it's the way we can put it. Akron did get going with their offense towards the end of the first half. Just wasn't enough to really close that gap. They got it as close as 9 points into that single-digit category, but it ballooned back up to 12 points by the time we hit the buzzer and headed to the locker rooms. You can see John Gross visibly frustrated and fuming on that Akron sideline walking back to the locker room. You know he's going to be animated in that locker room for the Zips, trying to inject some energy into this Akron team. Just one conference loss all season for Akron that came against did not come against Miami, and it was a season for Akron that they really could have never dreamed of, I don't think, in the regular season. The best conference record, tied for the best conference record, I should say, in Mid-American Conference history at 17-1 during the regular season. A historic regular season for the Akron Zips. They won their only matchup against the Red Hawks earlier this season, but Travis Steele mentioned this post-game of the semifinal win for Miami, that this is a different Miami team than what faced Akron early in the conference schedule on January 25th. And I think that we're seeing that come to fruition right now, Artie.
Yeah, so, I mean, last time these teams met, it was a 102-75 win for Akron Zips against Miami. That was at home for the Zips. That was at their home court. They're at a neutral site now. You could say that they're pretty much, it's like you mentioned earlier, it's like 60-40 Zips fans to Red Hawks fans, I would say, Tyler. It just, I mean, that was so many weeks ago. It's a whole new different vibe now in the tournament. There's new stakes. There's new energies. You're playing in an NBA-style arena, an NBA arena with fans from all over, from fans from Oxford, fans from who made the drive up for the Zips. And right now, the Miami, they look like a completely different team than we've seen previously from them. They look locked in, especially Peter Sudair. 16 points, 6 for 7 from the field, 4 from 5 from 3, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He did have to check out of the first half a little early when he picked up that second personal foul, and that slowed down the Red Hawks for quite a bit. For a little bit, they were still adjusting their offense, but they got back on track quite quickly when they started playing through guys like Ipsaro, started finding their shots with guys like Cam Kraft. So the depth right now for Miami is crazy when you look at it that way.
Yeah, and they have more bench points than one of the best benches in the country in Akron. They lead in those bench points currently over the Akron Zips 15-13. They lead in points off turnovers 11-2. And second chance points 11-1. Akron has committed 7 turnovers. Miami just 3. Looking at the individual stats for this first half, Nate Johnson has 7 points, leading Akron. No double-digit score for Akron at halftime. Don't see that very often. Amani Lyles and Isaiah Gray each have 6 apiece. James Okonkwo and Tavari Johnson with 4 apiece. Sharon Young with 3, and Shamas Scott and Bowen Hardman each with 2. Over on the Miami side, it's been the Peter Suter show. 16 points, 6 for 7 from the field, 4 for 5 from deep. Next to him is Cam Kraft with 8, Evan Ipsaro with 7, Brant Byers with 6, and then Antoine Wolfolk 4, Makai Cooper 3, and Reese Potter with 2. Looking at these two teams, what do you need to see from Akron to get back into this one, and what do you want to see from Miami to close it out in the second half?
It's real simple for Akron. You got to hit the shots.
Yeah.
You got to hit those shots. You're 2 from 11 from 3. You're a team that's prided yourself all year long on hitting tough threes, hitting three-pointers, hitting from range. We're not seeing it so far. You got to hit those shots. You got to be able to make those shots in order to go away the win. For Miami, got to keep the momentum up. Got to keep that fast-paced offense going. Got to keep playing through guys like Suder in this half. Got to make sure he stays out of foul trouble if you're going to pick up the win against the Zips.
We'll have to wait and see how this second half plays out. There's only one way to tell, and that is the action that takes place on the court here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Under 4 minutes until the start of the second half. We'll take a quick break. When we come up, we will have the start of the final 20 minutes of action here between Akron and Miami of Ohio for the men's basketball MAC tournament championship game in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to this on Falcon Radio. Don't go anywhere.
I'm a wife, a sister,
and a grandfather.
I'm an office clerk.
I'm a research analyst,
dance fitness instructor,
actor.
I'm a copywriter. I'm a veteran.
I have lupus,
cerebral palsy. I'm blind.
And I'm working in a job I love.
Because I was given a chance
to contribute my skills and talents.
To show that my disability is only one part of who I am.
At work, it's what people can do that matters.
For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
My name is Hunter Hayes. I know myself and I know my buzzed warning signs. One shot is about knowing my limits or not necessarily knowing my limits.
I start with one shot to have a good time.
One of the signs that I'm starting to feel a little buzzed is when I start solving not only my own problems, but the entire world's problems. When I know I'm going out, I know I'm going to start with calling for a ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
I can't believe he found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? What, did he balance on that big chair?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presents, they can find a gun.
911, what is your emergency?
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
Roxanne Watson is on a mission to have more people sign up as organ, eye, and tissue donors. What drives her? Roxanne received a heart transplant made possible by an organ donor.
I decided that day to devote myself to signing up the most people in the United States. That's my goal.
Now she's a powerful force for good. What could you make possible as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Leave behind the gift of life. Go to organdonor.gov. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
A few moments away from the beginning of the second half here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Miami of Ohio leading Akron 46-34 at halftime here in the MAC Tournament Championship game. Game 14 of 14 here this weekend in Cleveland. Tyler Kablitz alongside Artie Abrego here for the Falcon Media Sports Network. Thank you for everyone who has tuned in to our broadcast or even looked at any of our content this week. It is much appreciated, and hopefully we have a fun 20 minutes here to close it out.
It's been a fun couple of days, Tyler. Obviously a very hard-working couple of days. Here, everyone at Falcon Media Sports Network is currently just a bit exhausted, but it's been a ton of fun to be here at Rocket Arena covering all these games.
It definitely is. We are back underway with second half action. Miami going right to left, Akron left to right, and this one's picked off by Tavari Johnson. He'll take it the other way for Akron. Johnson gives it to Isaiah Gray. Gray now to Nate Johnson, far side wing. Johnson overshoots James Okonkwo down low. Back-to-back turnovers by Miami and Akron to begin the second half.
That's going to be the 8th turnover of this game for the Zips.
Akron has been susceptible to high turnover games this season. Peter Suter back out on the court with the ball. He has a game-high 16 points. It's fed down low to Antoine Woolfolk, working against James Okonkwo, and Woolfolk's had his way so far down low today. Gets that hook shot to go. Woolfolk is up to 4 points, 6 points, third made field goal. Miami leading by 14, 48-34. Seth Wilson gives it to Nate Johnson. He drives inside, banks the layup off the backboard. Back to a 12-point deficit for Akron, 48-36.
Akron still trying to battle back. Good job by Nate Johnson taking through the contact, connecting on that shot. He's got 9 here and shooting 3 for 4 from the field.
Knocked away by Akron, taken by James Okonkwo. Nate Johnson will bring it up the court for the Zips. Chance to bring it to a single-digit game. And we're going to have a blocking foul here down low against Peter Suter. That'll be his third personal. Things are getting interesting here with the fouls. Do you leave Peter Suter on the floor with 3 personal fouls, 18:25 to play in the game? He has a team-high, game-high 16 points. Do you leave him on the court, or do you take him out for your Travis Steele, Artie?
I think you kind of have to leave him out on the court at this point, Tyler. I mean, it's the championship. You got to have him out there as many minutes as he can to help him pick up the win.
Tough to disagree with that. If I'm Akron, I'm attacking Peter Suter. We'll see if they do that. Nate Johnson driving inside. Johnson can't get the layup to go. Offensive rebound by Amani Lyles. He can't get that layup to go, but a second offensive rebound on the possession by Akron. Tavari Johnson looking for something to do, driving inside. Left-handed layup, no good. And there's another offensive rebound by Amani Lyles. His third of the possession, and he is fouled down low.
Amani Lyles, the absolute MVP of that entire possession. 3 offensive boards right in a row. That gets him up to 6 rebounds a day, 4 offensive rebounds on the day as well.
There's a 3-pointer launched from the corner by
Seth Wilson.
Launching that, does not go.
He's taken 4 shots from 3, hasn't connected on a single one. No points so far in 12 minutes.
This one stolen away by Akron. Nate Johnson takes it the other way, gives it to Tavari Johnson. Mishandled the pass, picks it up, and Tavari Johnson drains the triple. His first 3-pointer of the day, and Akron back within single digits. It's a 9-point game. Miami up 48-39.
Akron on a 5-0 run to open up this half.
Peter Suter jumper clean for Peter Suter. 18 points on the day, his first second half points. First point since he went out of the game with 2 personal fouls early on. He's currently playing with 3. 50-39 Miami, 17 minutes to play. pass in here to Amani Lyles. Heavy contact. Lyles goes to the ground. It was triple teamed by Miami. They take it the other way. Three-pointer by Cam Kraft. Too strong off the backboard in transition. Lyles secures the rebound for Akron.
Cam Kraft having a little bit of a rougher shooting outing out. 2 for 5 from 3.
Nate Johnson inside. Finish it off for the Zips. Nate Johnson into double figures with 11 points. And Akron back within 9, 50-41. The Zips fans getting into it.
Zips fans back on their feet again. Gotta love that the crowd, gotta love your Akron is the crowd getting back into it, staying hyped up, even with a sizable lead right now.
Cam Kraft with it. He's gonna pass it to Peter Suter, who launches a triple. Peter Suter's 5th three-pointer of the game, Artie, and he's up to 21 points here today. What a tournament for Peter Suter, and what a game today by number 5.
What do you even do to stop him at this point, Tyler? He's connecting on almost every single shot he takes.
Yeah.
It's 5 for 6 from 3, 21 points. He's just unstoppable right now.
Tavari Johnson drives inside on the other end, finishes off the layup with the right hand. 53-43, Miami leads. Akron getting close, but not close enough right now. Down low, stripped away by by Isaiah Gray, I should say. Amani Lyles with a tough defense on Antoine Woolfolk. Nate Johnson passes up a three-point attempt that would have been contested, gives it to Isaiah Gray in the near side corner. He drives inside, takes tough contact. No foul called on a mid-range jumper, but nothing but net for Isaiah Gray, and it's back down to a single-digit game, 53-45, Miami up. And this one's knocked away. It's thrown away by Seth Wilson for Akron. They have all the momentum right now. Gives it off here. Three-pointer. Nate Johnson does not go. Isaiah Gray tries to secure the offensive rebound. Can't do it. Miami takes it the other way, 53-45. Red Hawks leading, 15 to play.
I mean, the crowd for the Zips getting loud once again. Gotta love if you're Akron is the crowd starting to get back involved in this one.
About a 70-30 split, I would say. Akron to Miami fans here today. Akron just in the backyard of Cleveland, about 40 minutes away. Antoine Woolfolk driving down low, guarded by Amani Lyles. It's kicked outside. Three-point attempt by Makai Cooper. And that goes. Huge shot by Cooper. Extends the Red Hawks lead back to double digits. It's up to 11, 56-45. Akron takes a timeout with 14:27 to play. We'll take it with them. You're listening to the MAC Tournament Championship game here between the Zips and the Red Hawks right here on Falcon Radio.
On November 30th, 2024, BGSU women's basketball defeated Arkansas 79-78. The win over the SEC opponent was arguably the biggest of the Fred Shamil era in Bowling Green. Falcon Media Sports Network's Caden Knapp had the call on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Tightly guarded by Velasco, 5 seconds on the clock, passing out, there's a three for the far side wing, no good, it's no good, Laura Gurka gets the rebound, and the BGSU Falcons have defeated the Arkansas Razorbacks, coming back from 14 down to win 79-78, a huge team win.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU Athletics. New episodes are available every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
56-45, Miami up over Akron, 14-27 to play in the contest. A big one here, the men's basketball MAC Tournament Championship game at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Tyler Kamlitz alongside Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you for this one. Been an exciting one so far, Artie.
Definitely a little bit of a Miami's been in the driver's seat for quite a while, but Akron, they're not going away anytime soon. They've been going at it, getting back into this one. Still an 11-point lead for the Red Hawks, but Akron's not going away anytime soon. But the Red Hawks just keep making all the right shots at all the right times to keep them out of this one.
A lot of time left to play here in Cleveland. This one nowhere near done. On the court for Miami, Makai Cooper, Peter Suter, Evan Ipsaro, Brant Byers, and Reese Potter. For Akron, Okonkwo, Nate Johnson, Shema Scott, Bowen Hardman, and Young. As working down low, it's going to be a foul against Miami. It'll be Reese Potter. And there's going to be a timeout called on the floor. So we will take it with them. 56-45, Miami over Akron, 14-13 to play in the MAC Tournament Championship game right here on Falcon Radio.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
In the wake of a hurricane, your monetary donation can make a huge difference to those in need. To donate, visit supporthurricanerelief.org. That's supporthurricanerelief.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Still in our second media timeout in about 30 seconds, Artie. But Miami's still leading Akron 56-45. A lot of time left on that clock, though. 14 minutes, 13 seconds of it.
Definitely, it's only a couple of seconds passed on that last, before we went to break once again, but Reese Potter, he picked up the personal foul. I believe it was on James Okonkwo. A little bit of nice sportsmanship I saw before the break. Okonkwo gave Reese Potter a little bit of help up. Even the championship, sportsmanship is still important, but
nice crowd on hand today here for this one. Akron, as always, shows up well here at the MAC tournament. They don't have to travel far. Miami of Ohio crew had to make a little bit of a longer trip, but they also showed out pretty well. Good amount of red in this crowd.
Definitely. It's nice to see. Always nice to see have an NBA arena like this for the MAC championship. We got a ton of fans here cheering on each of them.
We can tell who is a fan of who this year. Last year when he had Akron and Kent State, they're a little different shades of blue, but they blend in pretty well together.
Yeah, the red does really help it stick out, Tyler. Plus, most Miami, Ohio fans are sitting behind their bench as well, so that helps.
Yep. That's where the large contingent is. We have an AK Rowdy section over here for Akron, the student section for the Zips, traveling well. Nate Johnson makes both at the line. He's up to 13 points today for the reigning MAC Player of the Year, but Miami still leads by 9, 56-47. 14 minutes to play. Pass inside to Reese Potter, and he slams it home with two hands.
Just beautiful ball movement once again. Just a quick pass by Suter right to Byers for an easy dunk.
Shema Scott with the ball for the Zips, far side wing. Trying to move inside, kicks it out to Young. Young gives it to Okonkwo mid-range. Now he gives it to Nate Johnson. Johnson retreats to the near side wing. Deep three-pointer launch by Bowen Hardman with 5 on the shot clock. Bowen Hardman drains it from way downtown, down to an 8-point game, 58-50. Miami on top.
Hardman's first shot from the field goes for 3. He's got 5 now on the day.
Makai Cooper dribble from the far side corner, does not go. Rebounded by James Okonkwo. Nate Johnson brings it up the court for the Zips. He gives it off. Shema Scott back to Johnson, top of the key. Johnson making his way inside, takes contact, his layup rattles in. It's a 6-point game, the closest Akron's gotten it since Miami jumped out to an 18-point advantage. 58-52, under 13 to play.
Now the Zips fans are very into it now. Crowd getting loud and rowdy here.
Three-pointer launched by Peter Suter. 24 points on the day for Peter Suter. Back to a 9-point advantage, 61-52. Akron just chipping away, but they cannot get close enough before Miami answers back. Inside, Young's floater does not go. Okonkwo gets the rebound. His putback no good, but a foul by Miami down low. We'll see who they assign it to. Remember, Peter Suter playing with 3 personal fouls out there. It'll be on Reese Potter. That'll be his third. That's huge because Potter only has 2 points on the day, but he has 4 rebounds, which leads Miami.
I mean, Reese Potter, he's a guy of
also has a block down low.
He's 7'1" from Lexington, Kentucky. So you got to have a guy that size out there to help against big guys for Akron like Okonkwo.
As Okonkwo misses his first at the line, James Okonkwo on the season, 67.7% from the charity stripe. Makai Cooper checks out. Cam Kraft in. Reese Potter, Peter Suter still out there on the court with 3 fouls each for Miami. Okonkwo splits the pair as Amani Lyles will come in for the big man for Akron. 61-53, Miami leads, 12:20 and counting to play. Here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, 25th straight year the MAC tournament has been hosted in this building. Peter Suter with the ball for Miami. Kicks it out, Evan Ipsaro. Back to Suter. Suter moving to his left, knocked away by Amani Lyles.
Whoa.
And they're going to say it went out of bounds off of Suter. Travis Steele cannot believe it. That play was right in front of the Miami bench. And that'll take us to a media timeout. It'll be Akron ball when we come back. Miami up over Akron here in the MAC Tournament Championship game. 61-53, 11:57 to play right here on Falcon Radio.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
To listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune in to WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
(61-53), Miami leading Akron 11:57 to play here in Cleveland, Ohio at Rocket Arena. MAC Tournament Championship game. We saw the winner crowned for the MAC Tournament Championship for the women's side earlier today. That going to Ball State. By far the best team all season on the women's side. Akron has been the best team this season for the men's side of the bracket, but Miami has been the hot team here today. They jumped out to an 18-point lead at one point. It's now been cut down, though, by Akron, Artie.
Absolutely. Akron battling back. They've got it down to 8 now. They are coming close. We've seen them battle back all game. They've come close at multiple times, got it down to single digits, but the Red Hawks have just stayed a step ahead at all times. Really just hitting big-time shots in the right places. But the Zips just got a turnover on that last possession, so they'll have the ball here to start off their next possession. So a little bit of a chance here to get this cut down to possibly 6 points, maybe 5. Get them themselves up in a good position, but they got to be able to stop that Red Hawks offense, in particular Peter Suter.
Peter Suter's been on fire here today. 24 points, 9 for 10 from the field, 6 for 7 from deep. He has not missed often.
And how do you even stop
Only
a guy?
missed once, in fact.
You can't really contain a guy like Suter right now. You just have to find something, anything.
Here's Bowen Hardman launching a triple for Akron. And that cuts it down to just a 5-point game, Marty, 61-56. We have a contest on our hands now.
Definitely feels that way.
Three-pointer launch by Cam Kraft. He responds on the other end for the Red Hawks. 64-56 Miami.
This is what I'm talking about. The responses by the Red Hawks are always so automatic right away. Doesn't give the Zips any time to celebrate their wins. Gets it back up to an 8-point lead.
Schmostock kicks it out to Nate Johnson. Good ball movement to Young. Back to Hardman. His three-point attempt falls short off front iron from straightaway, top of the key. Evan Psaro in his bright green basketball shoes. Hard to miss him. Takes the ball up the court for Miami. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul on Akron. I believe that's going to be on Shema Scott. It will be on Scott.
Scott.
That'll be his second.
Shema Scott, he's had a quiet game tonight. 3 points, 1 for 5 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, a rebound and an assist in 13 minutes.
Young and Nate Johnson come onto the court for Akron. Tavari Johnson, Isaiah Gray, Young and Nate Johnson check out. Tavari Johnson, Isaiah Gray into the game for the Zips. Inbound pass here by Miami, knocked out of bounds by Akron. They'll do it again under the baseline. They're going to switch on passers from Evan Psaro to Peter Suter. 19 on the shot clock for him. Evan Psaro has it. Driving to his left, trying to get to the rim.
Whoa.
Gets it to go. And the foul on Amani Lyles. What a shot by Evan Psaro near the rim.
I mean, that ball seemed to just hang in the air forever when it went up for that layup. Just almost paused up on the backboard and came back down, falling with force. And the Red Hawks have got it back to a double-digit lead with 10 and a chance to make it 11.
66-56, Miami up, 10:51 to play. And there's Evan Psaro getting into double digits, converts the three-point play. He's up to 10, Miami's lead to 11. Shema Scott gives it to Bowen Hardman. Hardman down low to Lyles, guarded by Reese Potter, kicks it out to Tavari Johnson. Tavari Johnson, far side wing, working on Evan Psaro, driving inside, right-handed layup, comes up short, rebounded by Cam Kraft. Evan Psaro will bring it up the court for Miami as the main ball handler. He's been the main ball handler here in the second half. Just chewing away at that clock. Kick over here at Brant Byers. Three-point attempt does not go. Akron brings it up the other way. Shema Scott driving inside. The shifty Shema Scott. Clear lane to the rim. Layup falls. 67-58. Miami leads by 9.
So Scott, that's getting him to 4 points on the day. That's his first shot from the field to be made. 1 for 4 now after being 0 for 3 previously.
Evan Psaro with it. Psaro thought about a step back there. Now gives it over to Cam Kraft, top of the key. Kraft driving inside at the free throw line, now into the rim, rejected by Amani Lyles. Isaiah Gray saves it. Tavari Johnson bringing it up the court. Johnson kicks it over. Bowen Hardman, near side wing. A three-pointer does not go. Rebounded down low by Amani Lyles. Tavari Johnson, top of the key, drains the tray. 67-61. Miami's lead back down to 6.
Akron now on a 5-0 run this past minute 30.
The crowd getting into it here at Rocket Arena. And there's going to be a foul on Miami. As Shema Scott and Bowen Hardman getting the Akron crowd into it, calling for more noise as Reese Potter picks up his 4th personal foul. A huge foul against Reese Potter, who has 4 rebounds here today for Miami and has been a real floor spacer at 7'1".
Absolutely. That's been your primary guy down on the boards, getting those rebounds, guarding Okonkwo. If you lose him now, that's going to do extreme extreme misfortune for the Red Hawks team. Now he's going to have to check out of this one for just a little bit.
I believe the officials reviewing something currently. Evan Ipsaro, Cam Kraft, Reese Potter, all checking out for Miami. Luke Skaljak, Makai Cooper, and Antoine Woolfolk into the game for the Red Hawks. Travis Steele couldn't believe that call. He was livid on the Miami sidelines.
He was still livid. He was still talking to the referee about it before having to go back to his sideline. He is absolutely furious. He fell to his knees in shock. He had to grab onto the scorer's table because he couldn't believe the call. It's unbelievable sequence of events here at Rocket Arena.
I'd say for my money, the two most animated head coaches in the Mid-American Conference in John Gross and Travis Steele. And makes sense when you consider that they are half-brothers. Okay, so they are looking at whether it was a flagrant foul on Reese Potter or not. We didn't exactly see what happened. Can't really comment on exactly what he did there. Did not see a replay, but they will call it a common foul for Reese Potter.
Travis,
a flagrant foul would have knocked him out of this game.
Travis still wants an explanation. He's still talking to the referee.
He's just going to take a knee in front of the Miami bench, I think, to try to contain himself. Tamari Johnson brings it up the court for Akron. Gives it to Amani Lyles. He'll drop it off. Bowen Hardman, three-pointer moving to his right. Too strong off back iron. Not sure if that was a quality look for Hardman. He's made a few of those this tournament. As Miami takes it the other way, Peter Suter giving it off to Makai Cooper. Cooper moving to his left, still on the outside. Swings it over. Back to Cooper. Cooper inside, kicks it out. Three-point attempt, launched and drains by Luke Skaljak. Back to a 9-point advantage for the Red Hawks. 8.5 to play, 70-61.
That's his first points of the night. 3-point shot from range, and I got to say, he's got one of the coolest names in the Mid-American Conference as well. Three-pointer
by Tamari Johnson, drained in the corner. He's up to 15 points, tied with Nate Johnson for the Akron lead. 70-64, 6-point advantage for Miami. Makai Cooper driving inside, had a clear path to the rim. Passed it outside, though, to Brant Pyers. Interesting decision there, a little hesitant. It's kicked out now to Luke Skaljak. Skaljak driving inside, he'll kick it out. Three-pointer here, no good. Peter Suter, just his second miss of the day on 11 attempts. Kicked out, Bowen Hardman for Akron. Near side wing, just spins out. Hardman being aggressive on these three-point takes.
I don't think Akron fans not pleased about that one.
Makai Cooper gives it off to Luke Skaljak. Now it's Peter Suter driving inside. He'll pull up mid-range jumper. Does not go, too strong. For the first time today, Peter Suter's missed back-to-back shots.
Maybe Akron, you got to think he might be entering a bit of a cold streak. So Akron's got to take advantage of this.
Working inside, Shamal Scott blocked from behind by Antoine Woolfolk. It'll stay Akron ball. And that'll lead us to a media timeout. 7:07 to play. Miami of Ohio up over Akron 70-64 here in the MAC Tournament Championship game on Falcon Radio.
I'm BG News reporter Ava Thoman, and here's a look at this week's edition of the BG News. Honoring Women's History Month and celebrating all women who've made an impact. See who is being celebrated and how you can join in on the celebration. Since its 1965 opening, Stella Field has not seen a big renovation. Read about the fundraising campaign and what renovations are being brought to the baseball diamond. A tree honoring a lay professor will be planted on campus. Find out more about how some students raised all the funds in just 6 hours. And on March 12th, the Bowling Green Falcon Marching Band took flight to Ireland. Read about what they plan on doing for St. Patrick's Day. Check out these stories and more in this week's edition of the BG News, now available on newsstands around the BGSU campus and the Bowling Green community.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Falcon Media Sports Network is finally back on the road with BGSU hockey. Make sure to catch the voice of Falcon Hockey, Ben Korak, on the call for every BGSU game this season on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here in Cleveland, Ohio, at Rocket Arena. MAC Tournament Championship game on the men's side between Miami of Ohio and Akron. Akron the 1 seed, Miami the 2 seed coming into the contest. Akron currently trailing as they seek their second straight tournament championship game against Miami, 70-64. The Redhawks lead, 7:07 to play in the contest. Tyler Kablitz alongside Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Third season in a row that we've called the men's MAC Tournament Championship game. Artie, it's been a fun ride so far.
Oh, definitely so far. I mean, God, the first year we called this, we were freshmen. MAC champ, we were freshmen. My hair was way longer than it is now.
My beard was less thicker than it is currently.
Crazy. Time really flies, man, huh?
It does. You know, and we've seen Akron we've seen them already win one title, and they're going for another one. Question is, do they have enough in the gas tank left to take down this Miami team, who has been red hot all game long, still shooting 56.3% from the field and 55.6% from deep. They've hit 15 triples as a three-pointer miss there by Seth Wilson, knocked out of bounds by Akron as they attempted to kick it back out towards the three-point line to get an offensive rebound. On the court right now for Miami, Ian Elmer, Makai Cooper, Antoine Woolfolk, Peter Suter, and Luke Skaljak. For Akron, it's Seth Wilson, Nate Johnson, Tavari Johnson, Amani Lyles, and Shema Scott. Woolfolk gives it off here. Suter working inside, spin move, fadeaway jumper, rolls out, 3 straight misses for Peter Suter. He has cooled down significantly with a game high 24 points.
And again, I mentioned earlier, this is where the Zips have to take advantage of that. You got to go on the attack right now.
Shema Scott's pass knocked out of bounds by Miami. Akron retains possession. Evan Ipsaro and Cam Kraft come into the game for the Redhawks. Luke Skaljak, Makai Cooper will go to the bench for a break. Ipsaro's been the main ball handler for Miami, so maybe you think create some spacing for Peter Suter. Get him an open look to get him going.
Got to imagine that. I imagine that's a strategy by Travis Steele to check in Ipsaro now. He's been the primary ball handler whenever he's out on the court.
Shema Scott, deep triple. The Mid-American Conference Sixth Man of the Year, proving why he was named to that award. His 7th points of the game. His first three-pointer, as Akron's now within 3, 70-67. Down low, it's Suter. He kicks it out to Ipsaro in the corner. He drives inside, knocked away by Akron, but they're going to call a foul. John Gross cannot believe it. He is livid. It'll be on Tavari Johnson, his second.
Yeah, I think I can definitely tell that John Gross and Travis Steele are brothers now. The exact same bench reactions almost.
Isaiah Great comes into the game for Seth Wilson. It's not only John Gross, his entire staff animated on the sidelines. Makai Cooper working inside. That's actually Antoine Woolfolk. Apologies. He works inside, gets the layup to go. 5-point advantage for Miami, 72-67.
Nate Johnson at the top of the arc now. He's going to
look for a pass inside to Isaiah Gray. Knocked away. Gray saves it. Passes into Shema Scott. Nate Johnson takes a deep triple from the wing. Nate Johnson rattles it home. He's up to 18. Akron's within 2. 72-70. 5:05 to play.
Last time they held the lead was 1924 in the first quarter. They're up by Akron was up by 2 points. Can they get back there? Can they tie the game?
Peter Suter with it, gives it to Antoine Woolfolk. He'll give it over to Makai Cooper, driving inside. His layup too strong. Knocked out of bounds off of Cooper. Akron ball.
Nate Johnson telling the Akron crowd to get loud.
What a momentum shift, a 9-2 run over the past 4 minutes for Akron. A chance to tie it or take the lead on this possession. There's going to be a defensive foul there on Miami. I believe that's going to be Ian Elmer. It is, and he's just walking to the Miami bench.
This is 4th personal foul.
I think he thought he was going to be subbed out. Hasn't been yet. I think Travis Steele's telling him to stay out there.
I mean, there's 4:30 left in this one. 4 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. About 5 minutes. You kind of have to play your cards at this point, Tyler.
Gambling with his guys out there is Travis Steele. Shema Scott asking for more noise from the Akron fans. As we will head to a timeout here. 72-70. Miami's 18-point lead has been cut down to just 2. Akron has gone on a 9-2 run over the past 4 minutes. 4:30 to play at the media timeout. You're listening to the MAC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship game right here on Falcon Radio.
Every year, millions of Americans use opioids to manage pain, and reliance on opioids has led to the worst drug crisis in American history. That's why the CDC recommends safer alternatives like physical therapy to manage pain. Physical therapists treat pain through movement, hands-on care, and patient education. No warning labels required. When it comes to your health, you have a choice. Choose physical therapy. Visit moveforwardpt.com to find a physical therapist in your area.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here on Falcon Radio in Cleveland, Ohio, John Kamlitz alongside Artie Abrego from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Artie, Akron has pulled to within 2. It's 72-70. Miami leading with 4:30 to go. And the Red Hawks have cooled down significantly recently as Akron's gone on a 9-2 run. Tell us a little more about that.
So the Zips are on a 9-2 run. They've officially scored more points in the second half, 36 than they had in the first, 34. Right now in the second half, they're shooting 13 for 26, so 50% from the field. They're shooting 7 for 14 from 3. That's 50%, much better than 18.2% they had in the first half. And the Red Hawks are ice cold right now. They've been 1 for 7 on their last 7 shots. They have no answers for the Zips offense right now.
It'll be Akron ball, side out, across from the Akron bench. Chance to tie it or take the lead on this possession. Tavari Johnson with the ball at the midcourt Mid-American Conference logo. Johnson picks up his dribble top of the key. Gives it to Amani Lyles, now outside to Nate Johnson. Nate Johnson pulls up for a triple, cannot can it. Rebounded by Cam Kraft. He had a quality look, just a little too strong off back iron.
That was definitely the right shot to take at that moment. Just put a little too much power on his shot from the top of the arc.
Evan Ipsaro hands it off to Peter Suter. A game high, 24 points. Three-pointer launched by Cam Kraft, does not go. Offensive rebound goes to Antoine Woolfolk, came right out back to him. on the wing just inside the three-point arc. He's backing out of Miley Lyles, kicks it out to Peter Suter, who feeds it right back down to Woolfolk. He's trying to look for a shot, can't get something off. Looking like he might have traveled, it doesn't matter. Missed the shot, rebounded by Tavari Johnson. 3:30 to play, 72-70 Miami.
It's getting down there, and Akron, it feels like they're posed to take a lead, or perhaps tie it on this possession.
Shema Scott with the ball. Scott gives it Nate Johnson, top of the key. Johnson missed a three-pointer straight away, top of the key, on a contested shot last possession. Moving inside with it at the free throw line, just inside the free throw line, fadeaway attempt, tough shot, does not fall off front iron. That was not the most quality look there for Akron.
I felt a little bit desperate. The shot clock was winding down. I think Nate Johnson just had to take it because he was concerned about taking a shot clock violation or perhaps losing the possession.
And Miami and Travis Steele take a 30-second timeout. We'll stick it here with it through it. 72-70, Miami, 2:55 to play. We are getting into crunch time here in Cleveland.
We're in crunch time, and both teams are pretty ice cold right now. Both teams are on scoreless streaks. For the last 2 minutes and 19 seconds, Akron has been scoreless, and past 2 minutes and 39 seconds, the Red Hawks have been scoreless. So we're in crunch time. These teams are going to have to start hitting their shots if they want to take a trip to the March Madness.
If you're Akron, you would really love to hold Miami scoreless on just one more possession and come down on the other side, tie it up, or take the lead.
Absolutely.
If Miami gets it back out to a double-digit lead, it's just going to make it tough for Akron to keep battling back. They've tried so hard to cut this lead down. It was up to 18 at one point, and they have brought it back down to a 2-point deficit. Do they have enough left, though? Does the MAC regular season champion Akron Zips have enough left in the gas tank? We will find out shortly. Evan Ipsaro inbounding, side out, opposite side of the Miami bench. Ipsaro gets the ball back. He's going to give it to Antoine Woolfolk, top of the key. Woolfolk dribbling just inside the three-point line. Gives it here. Floater by Luke Skaljak. Does not go. Kicked back out. Offensive rebound for the Red Hawks. They get another shot at it. Ipsaro with the ball. Miami chewing time off this clock. Down to 2:30 to play. Peter Suter, game high 24 points with it. Guarded by Isaiah Gray. Deep three-pointer, 6 on the clock. Nowhere near. Close. Missed it to the left. Nate Johnson brings it up the court for Akron. He gives it off to Tavari Johnson. Tavari Johnson moving to his left on the wing. Now top of the key, still beyond the arc. He gives it off to Isaiah Gray. Back to Tavari, top of the key, 10 on the shot clock. Tavari looking for something, thought about a three-pointer, drives inside. Fadeaway jumper inside the paint, does not go. Offensive rebound by Amani Lyles. He kicks it back out to Tavari. Shot clock reset to 20. John Gross takes a timeout with 15 on the shot clock. 1:45 on the game clock. A 30-second timeout. We are set for a fun finish here in Cleveland.
1:45 left on the clock. We're underneath the 2-minute mark now. What a game so far. Both teams, Akron still has one 30-second timeout, one full timeout. Miami of Ohio, 0 30-second timeouts, but they still have one full timeout left, in case you're wondering. Like you said, Tyler, it feels like we're posed for a really close game to this one.
70-70, 1:45 to play. Miami ahead. Talked about the controversial finish in the pregame to that 2007 MAC Tournament Championship where Miami defeated Akron, Miami's last tournament championship. And the controversy with the last second shot, we may be set up for something very similar here today.
I mean, it was a close game last year with Akron and Kent State.
I mean,
it was
as
very
close as you can get.
Went down to the final seconds.
Shema Scott inbounding for Akron, gives it to Nate Johnson. Nate Johnson floater inside. Akron has erased an 18-point deficit. They are tied with Miami at 72 apiece.
Where was the defense on that play from the Red Hawks? They were totally relaxed.
90 seconds to play in Cleveland for a trip to the NCAA tournament. Evan Ipsaro inside for Miami. Gets it outside. Three-pointer launched. No good by Cam Kraft. Rebounded by Akron. They have a chance to take the lead on this possession. Shema Scott with the ball, driving to the right, foul on Miami. Antoine Woolfolk picks up the foul for the Redhawks. That'll be his first personal, and that'll send Shema Scott to the free throw line for a chance to give Akron the lead after they erased an 18-point deficit. Scott hits the first of a 1-and-1, and the Zips are back out in front.
Last time they held the lead in this game, it was 16:25 on the clock in the first half. It's now 1:05 in the second half, and they have the lead.
He hits both at the line. Akron up by 2, 74-72. 60 seconds to play in Cleveland for a trip to March Madness. Evan Ipsaro driving inside. Layup no good. Heavy contact by Amani Lyles. He'll go to the line for 2.
So 2 fouls right in a row. Ipsaro is going to head back to the line. Third personal foul for Amani Lyles. Ipsaro, he's 1 for 1 from the line so far today. He had a 3-point play earlier. And the boos are now beginning from the Zips faithful.
Biggest shots of the game here for Miami. 56.5 on the clock. Ipsaro hits the first from the line on the season. Evan Ipsaro, a good free throw shooter, 80.9%. Miami trails by 1, chance to tie it up here. Boo Birds raining down. Ipsaro goes 2 for 2. We're all tied up at 74 apiece. 56.5 seconds to play in Cleveland.
It's coming down to the wire. Seconds are taken away. Both these teams are going to have to show what they've got here now.
Tavari Johnson with the ball for Akron. Gives it to Shema Scott. Scott driving inside. Kicks it out, Nate Johnson. He drives inside of the paint. Kicks it out here. Three-pointer, Isaiah Gray does not go. Knocked out of bounds off of Akron. Miami ball with 35.6 on the clock.
They have the shot clock, too. It's 35.6 seconds on the clock and then 30 seconds on the shot clock. So they can take some time here to decide what they want to do.
Akron got the look on that possession with Isaiah Gray. He had a straightaway look from the corner. Couldn't can it. Miami, like you mentioned, a 5.6 second difference between shot clock and game clock. If they want to, they can take this down real close to the wire. It's a full timeout for Miami, but we're going to stick here with it. 74 apiece. Akron was down by 18 at one point. They have rallied back to tie it. But Miami with the ball, a chance to go out ahead early. If you're Akron, I guess I'll first go, if you're Miami, who gets the ball to shoot it? And if you're Akron, what do you have to do on defense to prevent a make here?
Well, I think you got to give it to Peter Sudur. 6 for 9 from 3. That's your best shooting percentage. Maybe Cam Kraft if he can hit one. But he's been rough today, 3 for 9. And then the Zips, they just have to press. You can't let a 3 go. 35.6 seconds on the clock, 30 seconds on the shot clock. You got to be able to stop them here. You got to be able to get the ball back quick, too.
Miami cannot stop the clock, Artie. They are out of timeouts. John Gross in Akron has 2 remaining. 1 30-second, 1 full. He has played that game perfectly. Letting his guys play out there and cut the deficit, saving his timeouts for when he needs them. That's why John Gross is one of the best coaches, if not the best coach, in the Mid-American Conference.
So there's a reason why he's been on multiple times. He's had so much success in this tournament over the years, coaching Ohio and Akron. And he's been a multiple-time MAC champion and then a Coach of the Year this year.
Evan Ipsaro will bring the ball up the court for Miami. 30 seconds to play in Cleveland, all knotted up at 74 apiece for a MAC tournament championship and a trip to March Madness. Ipsaro with the ball at the MAC logo. He's draining this clock all the way down. We're down to 10 on the shot clock. Ipsoro driving in. Floater does not go. Rebounded by Akron. Amani Lyles passes it up to Nate Johnson. 3 on the clock. Inside. Nate Johnson hits the layup. 2.3 to go. Miami can't stop it. Ipsoro launches from half court. It's no good. Akron completes the 18-point comeback. And the Zips win their second straight MAC tournament championship for the first time in program history, defeating Miami 76-74, an instant classic in Cleveland.
Wow, I mean, I cannot believe it. When you went to half, it seemed like there was nothing that the Zips could do to stop the Redhawks, but they did. They forced the Redhawks to shoot 1 from 13 from the field in the last 13 shots. They came all the way to complete that 18-point comeback. You can see the pure joy from the Zip players as they rush the court. What a job by Nate Johnson. Stepped through with a Euro step. Had a court wide open in front of him to hit that open layup. And what a game here from Cleveland.
What a game. Miami was up by 18. Akron battled back to delete the deficit, and they win their third MAC title in 4 years. What a finish. We're going to take a quick break from Cleveland here to calm ourselves down, and we'll come back and recap this one for you. Akron wins the MAC tournament championship over Miami 76-74, their second in a row, their third in 4 years, and they have punched their ticket to March Madness.
BG Authors is a campus organization dedicated to highlighting authors connected to the university. BGSU has produced some amazing authors, including Beth Macy, James Baldwin, and Tim Conway, to name a few. Visit bgauthors.com and subscribe to the blog that regularly updates on new releases, classics, non-BGSU authors, and other features such as book versus movie. That's BG Authors at bgauthors.com.
I'm Mads Christensen for BGSU men's soccer team, and this is my Falcon 4 favorite ice cream toppings. The first one, vanilla, because it's a classic. The second one, strawberry, and guess what? It's also a classic. Love that. And cookies and cream, because it's delicious. And the final one, banana.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
An instant classic here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, in the 25th MAC tournament to be hosted in this building. Miami of Ohio, the 2 seed, built an 18-point lead over the MAC regular season champion Akron Zips. John Gross's team was never phased. They battled back from the deficit, tied it up, took the lead late, and they win the game 76-74. Something that cannot be overlooked in this finish, Artie, is Travis Steele's management of timeouts. John Gross saved himself 2 timeouts. He finished the game without using 2 timeouts. Travis Steele was left empty with 2.3 seconds remaining. They had to go and heave a half-court shot instead of being able to reset. They are not able to hit it, and Akron wins their second straight tournament championship, advancing to March Madness for the second year in a row for the first time in program history.
Like you mentioned, Travis Steele with the timeouts. He used one at 2:55 and then used another one later on as the right before he hit the minute mark, about the 35-second mark. So that was his last timeout. Those were his last 2 timeouts. John Gross played the game right. He had it all managed in his head. He kept 2 timeouts for himself just in case, and Travis Steele had nothing left. So they had to run up the court at the end with 2.4 seconds left on the clock. Couldn't get a shot off and couldn't get a timeout on the final possession because he had no timeouts left. Just mismanagement, and also just what a game by Nate Johnson. 22 points, 8 for 13 from the field, 1 for 5 assists, 2 rebounds, and Amani Lyles, got to give a shout out to him. He made connected with Johnson on that final pass when Johnson was going up the court for that floater to win the game. What a game here in Cleveland. What a game for the 25th anniversary for the MAC tournament here in Cleveland, Ohio.
I mean, could you have hoped for a better game that had everything in it?
No, it had a comeback. It had big-time threes, players making big-time plays, a game winner at the end, an 18-point comeback. You can't write a game better than that one.
Like you mentioned, what a tremendous game by Nate Johnson. Nate Johnson and Peter Suter, whoever gets the MAC tournament MVP, either of them deserve it.
Oh, absolutely.
It could go to either one of them. Nate Johnson, 22 points, 8 for 13 from the field. He gets 5 assists and 2 rebounds. Peter Suter goes for 24, a game-high 24, 9 for 14 from the field, 6 for 9 from deep. Akron wins in comeback fashion, while the most heartbreaking of losses for Miami to be up by 18 points, blow the lead, and kiss away a MAC tournament championship for the first time since 2007.
They just couldn't keep up. They couldn't keep up with Akron. I mean, I remember John Gross in the Toledo press conference after when he talked about how his team has always battled through adversity, how they always play through tough times, through tough moments. I don't think there's a better example of that than this game. They were down by 18. A lot of teams could have given up at that point. They kept playing. They kept with it. They scored 42 points in the second half, shot 46.9% from the field and 43.8% from 3. They deserve this. They came all the way back for that win. What a moment for this team.
What a moment indeed. That'll about do it for us here at Cleveland, but a long list of thank yous before we go off the air here. First to you, Artie, helping us cover all of these games. We had an incredible crew here in Cleveland this week. Artie, you were one of them. Lucas Kleinmeyer, Henry Costco, Caden Knapp, Jack Rintema, Dane Leininger. All of us in here from Falcon Media Sports Network covering this MAC tournament all 4 days. And we also had a long list of board operators. First, in the studio here today, the Falcon Radio Studio in the Coolene Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University, Nate Hinters. Thank you, Nate, for all the games that you sacrificed to be able to help us get on the air. Couldn't have done it without you. Also like to send thank yous to Reese Patricus, Jack Schill, Jacob Carey, Ben Korak, and Austin Roos. All of those guys, we had time off from school here. They did not. They were going on their normal schedule while sacrificing their time to get us on air. So full thank yous to them as Nate Johnson is awarded the MAC Tournament MVP, fully deserved.
Absolutely.
By Nate Johnson. Also like to send a big thank you to Carl Smith for giving us these opportunities. This is the 4th year in a row that we have come here, broadcasted and covered every MAC tournament game here in Cleveland, all 14 of them. Final takeaways from this week up here in Cleveland, Artie.
What a week, honestly. A shout out to all the guys who came up with us. You, Lucas, Caden, Dane, Jack, Henry. What a group of, I'm proud to be here with you guys. What a week. Shout out to all the board operators, everyone who helped us out, all the other members of FMSN back home in Bowling Green. What a game we just witnessed, and what a tournament on both sides of the bracket, the women's and the men's, and it all comes to an end Saturday. I'm forever grateful for being able to be here.
76-74, Akron defeats Miami to win the Mid-American Conference Tournament Championship for the 2nd year in a row, in their 3rd in the past 4 years. For all of us here at Falcon Media Sports Network who have been a part of covering this tournament. Once again, Nate Henners, Reese Patricus, Jack Schill, Jacob Carey, Ben Korak, Austin Roos, Artie Abrego, Lucas Kleinmeyer, Caden Knapp, Henry Costco, Jack Rintema, and Dane Leininger. This is Tyler Kavlitz signing off from Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Have a great night, everyone, and stay safe.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.